Okay, Shabab. Today we are going to continue with our lesson, which we started yesterday about the grammar. We talked about uh, about the conditional sentences. We said that the conditional sentence, the second used with simple past in the if clause. In the second, in the main clause, we use would plus the infinitive, which means or which express what imaginary situations. Now we are going to just to revise you with the let us say the structures. Here the first one is conditional sentences with clause, which expresses imaginary situations. Look here, if I found $1 million, I would take it to the police. After if, here we have simple past. Okay. After if, simple past. In the main clause, we have to use would plus. Okay, so this is about the first rule that we talked about. Also, I think we talked about, the conditional sentences tied to with possibility. Which in the second part we use might with infinitive. Okay, so this is about might plus what? Yes. Can read the rule. Adnan, read the rule, please.
Okay. Might can replace would in conditional sentences to express a possibility.
Good. Might can be replaced would in conditional sentences to express possibility. If I had extra money, I might take a vacation to Hawaii. Good. Also, we talked about could. If a clause we use, instead of using the simple past, sometimes we use could to express ability. If plus could in the if clause. In the main clause, we have would plus the infinitive to show the ability. Look at the examples. Who can read? Dia, read, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Could can be used in the clause. Oh, okay,
yes,
sorry.
could can be used in the
Clause. It means if someone were able to. If I could travel anywhere, I would go to Tahiti.
Good. You realize that could can be also used in the main clause. It means would be able to. So here we use could to show the ability. If we had more time, we could play another game of tennis. Good. Okay, now look at your workbook on page 12, please. Look at your workbook. I think we did it yesterday. Exercise C. Exercise C.
Yes, we did see.
Yes. Quickly, just to revise you, complete the story with the correct form of the verbs. Okay. If John, try Ibrahim Mansour. If John,
If John weren't so lazy, he probably
yes,
would be a better friend.
good, would be a better friend. Who can continue? Yes, Ahmed Horani. If his friends, yes.
Yes, mister. More specifically, if his friends asked him to help them with something.
Yes, maybe he wouldn't answer with you. Now,
teacher.
أستاذ صوتك ما في صوت صح ولا من عند المشكلة؟
ما في
أستاذ
صوت.
صوتك بقطع كثير.
Yes, sorry.
Teacher,
Yes,
we
Hamza.
did this yesterday, I think.
Yes, we will do it quickly, just to the students who do not do it quickly. Yes. Hamza, read the next paragraph.
4. He wouldn't answer with an excuse. John has a truck, so I sometimes ask him to help me move a big things to my apartment, but he never does. His favorite excuse.
Good. If I didn't have a test tomorrow.
Can I solve?
Yes, Adnan, continue.
If I didn't have a test tomorrow, I definitely would help you.
Complete the sentences.
Would help you. I would believe him if he didn't say this while talking on his cell phone the whole day.
Good, thank you very much. So this is about, the first rule about the conditional sentences type 2. Now
أستاذ
also
ممكن
talk
أستاذ ما كملت كتاب.
Okay, 1 minute. Have a
I sent it in the
screenshot.
group.
And Dia sent it in the group. Dia sent it in the group. Yes. Okay. Now let's talk about wish. You remember when we talk about wish, we start with the subject, then the wish, the verb wish. After wish, we have another subject, the same subject or different. Then we have to use the simple past after, the second subject. I wish I played the match. Look at the rule here. When the original sentence, reality, it will be affirmative. So in the wish sentence must be what? The negative. Look at the example. Use wish for things you want to happen, but it probably will not. Here we have two types or two forms, in the present and in the future. In the present, look at the sentence. I don't have much time. This is the real thing. This is the reality. So you wish to do something. Here must be what? In the affirmative. I wish I had more time, but in reality, I don't have. So you realize in reality, if it is, affirmative, so negative will be with, the wish sentence. I have to study today. I wish I didn't have to study today. Look here, I am not rich. This is negative. If you want to use wish, it must be what? Affirmative. And vice versa. Look, he will not lend me his car. I wish he would lend me his car. Okay, here you have to realize that was, we can use was instead of were. Both of them are correct. If we have the pronoun I wish I was a millionaire, or I wish I were a millionaire. Both of them are correct. With, other pronouns, we use just were, but with I pronoun, we use was or were. I think we did this yesterday. Okay, now look at your books on page 22. Exercise A. Page 22, please.
Can I solve?
Now here we have to match the sentences together, match the sentence parts together. Dia.
Okay. If I were a very rich person, I would travel to New Zealand.
Good. If I were a very rich person, maybe I wouldn't have to work. D is, the suitable one. Yes. Number 2.
If I saw someone who was stealing in a store, F, I would call the police.
Good. I would call, the police. Good.
Can you answer?
Yes, number 3.
If I had more experience,
I'd apply for the job.
Good.
Mister,
Yes.
when I say he was here, then I put comma. I should put was he or wasn't he
Where?
in the question. If I have like this question,
Look here. Here we have to put after.
I know, Mister, but I ask you this question for more information.
You have to put a comma if you will start with if.
No, Mister, I ask you if we have comma, and the question is he was here, or I should put was he or wasn't he?
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Wasn't. Yes, number 4.
Okay, thank you,
Can
Mister.
I do it?
Yes.
If I could say something to the president, I would tell him to cut taxes.
Good. If I could say something to the president, you know, I would tell him to cut taxes. Good. Number 5.
Can I solve?
Let me choose Khalid. Khalid Bilal, where are you?
I'm here. If I had to leave my home, I might leave with I might live with my aunt.
Good. If I had to leave my home, I might live with my aunt. Good. The last, number 6.
Can I solve?
Adnan.
Okay. If I could choose any destination, I travel to New Zealand.
Good. If I could choose any destination, I, could, or I would travel to New Zealand. Good. Okay, do it quickly, please. Okay. Now let's move to the next exercises. On page 23. Look at your books on page 23. Now here we are going to discuss the following situations using, the if clause type 2. Now, what would you do if someone took your shopping cart by mistake in the supermarket? What would you say? What would you do? Can try.
Can I?
Adnan?
If someone took my card by mistake, I would alert him.
Good. I would alert him. Or, just I would say, sorry, that's my card. Good. If someone took my shopping cart, I would just say, sorry. Okay. Number 2, what would you do if you were in a hotel and you saw a famous writer? What would you do? Anwar?
Okay, I would say that I would just say, can I take a picture of you?
Good. I would take a selfie with him. Good.
So I would greet him.
Very good. I would greet him. Good. If I were in a hotel and I saw a famous writer, I wouldn't bother the celebrity and, ask for an autograph. The same. If you can abbreviate it by saying, I would take a photo, I would greet him. Good. Number 3. Zain, what would you do if you lent a friend some money? And he
but the
didn't
person didn't
return?
return it. I would remind him that he owes me money.
Good. Here we have another example. If I lent a friend some money, I would politely ask for the money back. Good. Okay. Next, number 4. What would you do if you lent a friend a dress or a suit here for a special occasion, and when he returned it back, you found that it had what? A big stain. Yes. Was there?
Okay.
What would you
I would
say?
I would ask him, why is it dirty?
Maybe good. For me, I wouldn't ask him. Just I want, I would take it to the laundry. Good. If I lent a friend a dress for a special occasion, okay, and the friend returned it with a spot stain, I wouldn't say anything. I just take it to the laundry. Okay. Next.
Can I read?
Yes. What would you do if you saw someone cheating on the test?
I told him that's very bad.
Good. I would tell him that this is you didn't have to do it. Maybe I would tell the teacher. Maybe I would warn him. Good. If I saw someone cheating on a test, I might tell the teacher. I might.
Some
Yes.
people help him.
Maybe it is not a cheating if someone helps him. Okay. So this is about the second exercise C. Now go to exercise D just to have some of the sentences. Pretend your city has the following problems and you are the government official or the mayor. Okay. What would you do if you were the mayor of the city? Look here. If I were mayor, I would build a rail system to connect various parts of the city. Now, what about the first point? Poor public, transportation. What would you do, for this problem if you were a mayor? Zain? Are you here,
Yes,
Zain?
Yes, I'm here.
If I were?
If I were a mayor, I would build a rail system to connect various parts of the city.
Very good. If what about the poor public transport? Yes, I would, for example, renew the transportation system. Good.
I would renew the public transportation system.
Good. If I were, mayor, I would put more buses in the road. Good. Now, what about the second? If there is no recycling, facilities or bins, what would you do? Yeah.
No recycling facilities. I would place more recycling bins.
Good. Very good. If I were a mayor, I would put a lot of recycling bins on the streets. I would have more recycling bins on the street. Now, what about, crime? What would you do for, the crimes if you were a mayor? Abdullah Fadi.
I'm here, mister.
What would you do?
Yeah.
If you were a mayor?
Yeah, mister, I will build a lot of tower and I will help poor
Good.
people.
Good. If I were a mayor, I would, for example, I would have a lot of police officers in the street.
Yeah.
So we can increase the.
Yes, you can. What about the traffic? What would you do if you were a mayor for the traffic? What would you do for the traffic? Adnan?
Okay. If I were a mayor, I'd put or I'd make the streets wider so to make less
I
traffic.
would make the streets wider. Good. If I were a mayor, I would make the streets wider. Good. I would limit access to the downtown area to buses and, taxis. Good. What would you do, for, the poor health services? Poor health services if you were a mayor. Anwar?
Okay, for health services,
Good.
I would yes, I would build a new hospital.
Good. I wouldn't, build new hospitals. Good. If I were a mayor, I would build a new city hospital. Good. Okay. Now, what about, the poor telephone service? What would you do if you were a mayor?
Can I?
Bilal? Yes, Bilal.
I will build more cellular towers.
Good. Very good. If I were a mayor, I would, improve the telephone service. I would build, more towers, cell phone towers. Good. Now, I think that's enough about, this exercise. Let's move to the next exercise, exercise E. Look here, we have other, you have extra examples here. Now, what would we do here? What are we going to do? Use the verb wish to complete the sentences. In some cases, more than one verb form can be correct. Look at the example. Who can read the example, please?
Can I read?
Yes, read it.
Your best friend is a wonderful person, but she talks too much. I wish my best friend didn't talk so much. I wouldn't talk so much.
Wouldn't. Both of them are correct. So, didn't talk so much or wouldn't talk so much. One of them is correct. Number one, who can read the first situation? Number one.
Can I solve?
Can I solve?
Let me choose Brahim Mansour. Read number one.
Number one, your friend eats too much junk food and you think it's unhealthy. I wish my friend ate too much junk food.
You wish him to eat too much, or you wish him didn't eat too much?
No, of
What
course
do you
he
think?
didn't eat.
Yes, didn't eat or we didn't. Both of them are correct. Good. I wish my friend didn't or wouldn't eat too much junk food. One of them is correct. Didn't or wouldn't. Number two. Who wants Zain? Zain.
Yeah, I will read it.
Yes.
A friend asks you to go surfing, but you don't know how to surf. I wish that I knew how to surf.
I wish I knew. Good. I wish I knew how to surf. Good. I wish I knew how to surf. Good. Number three.
Can I?
Adnan.
My parents won't let you go out tomorrow night. I wish my parents would let me go out tomorrow night.
Good. I wish my parents, would let me go out tomorrow night. Good. I wish my parents would let me go out tomorrow night. Number four.
I can.
Resolve.
I can answer.
Yes, يلا يا ضياء.
مالك.
Okay, should I solve?
يلا مازن. Yes, مازن.
Okay.
It is raining again.
It's raining again. I wish it
weren't raining. Good. Read it again, please. I wish it weren't raining.
It weren't raining.
Good. It is raining again. I wish it weren't raining. Good.
I wish it weren't raining.
Thank you. Number five. Number Asaf. Yalla Asaf. Read number five, please.
You want to buy someone a present, but you don't have enough money. I wish I had enough money to buy someone a present.
Very good. Good. I wish I had enough money to buy a present. Thank you, Asaf. Number six. Let me choose where يلا يا نور الدين. نور الدين.
Okay. You have to wear an uniform to school and you don't want.
Good.
And
You have to wear a
I don't
uniform.
want to. I wish we didn't have to wear.
Didn't have. Very, very good. Yes. I wish we didn't have to wear a uniform. I wish we didn't have to wear a uniform to school. Now, please write them quickly. Write them quickly, please. Okay. Finished?
I finished.
Good. Don't forget, you know, the exam on Thursday, inshallah. The exam will be in your workbook, student's book.
Okay.
Mr. I have a question.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. I forgot to send some of the lessons we wrote on
Yeah.
email, like a lot of. Do I have to like send all of them, or do I start from this lesson?
Well, that's up to you, but you know, it is better to send them.
So do I
Exercise-
email all of them?
Yes. Exercise E, this exercise, it will be as a homework, so you have to send it, okay, Shabab? Send it, you know, through your Coursera email.
تمام أستاذ، وأرسل كل اللي كتبناه على الورك بوك صح؟
Yes.
أبشر. أوكي تمام.
Okay.
Which question is homework?
E.
Here.
E.
Exercise E. Exercise E in your student's book on page 23. This one. Just write
this one.
it with your hand and, you know, send it to me. Yes.
Do we send you anything in the workbook?
Not yet. لا. No. Okay, Shabab. Let's stop here. And see you tomorrow, inshallah. Okay?
إن شاء الله.
أوكي.
تسلم أستاذ، يعطيك العافية.